All right, what's this shutdown stuff all about? Should I be as excited as I am about the government no longer being open? Let's ask somebody who will tell it right. He'll give it to us straight. Senator Ron Johnson from the state of Wisconsin. Senator, why should I be upset if the government shuts down? I know you have to pretend to be upset, but why should I be mad?
I don't have to pretend. Wouldn't hurt my feelings. No, listen, I just offer the bill eliminate Shutdowns Act, and every Democrat voted against it, and unfortunately, 12 Republican appropriators voted against it as well. So go figure. But no, the vast majority of government is deemed essential. Government thinks quite a bit of itself, so it's deemed essential. It'll remain open. The part that closes, those government employees will go off to the spas and take vacations. They'll eventually get paid. Again, it's one great big charade. We know how this ends. They're going to give it CRs up against some holiday. Right before the holiday, once the appropriators get all their 2,000-page bills done, that'll be dropped on our desks, and we'll have less than 24 hours to pretend to read it and then vote yes or no. I generally vote no. But that's the game that's been played. I've been here for 15 years, Jesse. In that time, we should have passed 180 appropriation bills before the start of the next fiscal year, right? 180. You know how many we've passed? 6. We've passed 6 on time. That's a 96.7% failure rate, and yet the appropriators who opposed my bill said this bill would undercut the appropriation process. So maybe we would have only passed 4 or 5 of those things had the Prevent or the Eliminate Shutdown Act been in place. No, it's a very sad joke. It's again, to the outside it looks dysfunctional. No, this is a very well-honed process by the Uniparty to create these fiscal cliffs, get the American public all spent up about the disaster that the government shutdown is, so that they can unravel, they can write and then unravel and present these multi-thousand-page omnibus spending bills that there are always Democrats will vote for it, and they can always assemble what I always call the McConnell coalition of just enough Republicans to join Democrats in passing their priorities. And let's hope and pray that President Trump doesn't relent now on their latest gambit. The Democrats' opening salvo here. The House passed a relatively clean CR. Again, backed up against the Thanksgiving holiday. And I don't like that because that's setting up the process. But the Democrats' counter that was, well, we'll give you a 4-week CR, and all we're asking for is another $1.5 trillion worth of spending and unravel all the things you did in the one big beautiful bill. I mean, that's an obviously unserious offer. My concern is what they really want is what they could have done easily when they had control under Biden. They want permanence for the temporary pandemic enhanced Obamacare subsidies. And they want that because Obamacare itself has dramatically increased the cost of health insurance on individual exchange. And those enhanced subsidies basically took a lot of people, millions of people that were getting subsidies, but they also had to chip into those insurance plans. Don't chip in anymore. The result is you've got unscrupulous agents and brokers who are literally selling policies to people that don't even know they're getting them. They're collecting the commission. The insurance companies are collecting the premiums, billions of dollars of taxpayer money going into policies that aren't being used, that the people that the policies are written for don't even know they have them. If any Republican, including the president, supports extending that fraud, that's what they're doing. They're extending those subsidies. They're perpetuating that massive fraud.
Do you get the sense from the White House that the president is with us on this? As many good things as Trump has done, he's frankly disastrous when it comes to spending items. Is he with us this time?
Well, I know a lot of the political advisors are scared, whatless, of being accused of taking health care away from women and children. That's why we didn't end the fraud of the 9-to-1 match under the Obamacare expansion of Medicaid. We couldn't touch that. They already did too much to Medicaid. And yeah, I'm afraid they are afraid of the demagoguery coming from the Democrats, backed up by the media. And listen, it's a legitimate concern. You know how effective the demagogues, the liars are on the left and how they're supported by the media. So it's not an illegitimate concern from a standpoint if you want to win the House. But no, I am concerned.
Handicap it for us. How long's the shutdown last?
I really don't know. Listen, if it's just solely up to Democrats who are going to be pretty relentless because they know the media will back them up, it could last quite some time. It all depends on how soon Republicans might cave. It's just that simple. If it was only up to me,
Well,
again, I would continue to bring up the Eliminate Shutdowns Act, which just creates 14-day rolling or continuing appropriations. Shut down government, you just fund at last year's levels. And then try and figure out areas of agreement, like Veterans Affairs or defense. Or, there are plenty of areas where appropriators and a lot of members will actually agree and pass those one at a time, without all this shutdown threat. But again, the shutdown threat is all about spending a lot more money than what you could actually pass if you did individual appropriation bills. Do it right before Christmas with a 2,000-page bill. That's the game that's been played ever since I arrived here in 2011.
Figures. Senator, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.